Victor's in, Frank's out, the secret room, and I have a special guest coming on. It's me and Jonny, Big Brother After Show, now.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
It's our song. I love it. It's our song. It's the Big Brother 18 After Show here on AFTERBUZZ TV. Oh my God. I'm one of your hosts, James Lott Jr., and I'm here with the lady of the house,
yes.
John Manganello.
Yes, the lady with the scruff and the deep voice, Jonny Manganello. Hi, guys. That's right. You can follow me at Jonny Mangs on Twitter and Instagram.
And you can follow me at James Lott Jr. all over the interwebs.
I will.
I follow you already. You should follow him anywhere he is. You should follow him. It's good. And we're missing our girl. I'm really sad, actually. She's not feeling well today.
I know. Send her a care package.
Yeah, you guys should send her
a BB care package.
Here's her address now. Yeah, you should all send her lots of well wishes because she's not here today. She's part of our team.
And we have a fallen soldier today.
We do. Dang it.
It's okay. I think she's recovering from Hillary Clinton's speech last night. I have a feeling she was like jumping for joy. I mean it. First female presidential candidate.
Yeah, I know. It's just funny you said that. I didn't expect you to say that, actually. It's kind of funny. Very timely of you to say that, too.
Oh, man. So timely. When I think of me, I think of timely.
Actually, I do, too. You are timely. So we're gonna start kind of around and around because it's like there's several things that have happened. I just mentioned in the beginning that are really big. A lot of things happened this week actually on the show, and starting from last Friday, they had the whole battle back episode.
Yeah, we got to cover that battle back. I forgot about
that.
So
we'll do that first. We'll cover that first.
Yeah.
So, didn't you think Jose was going to go back in? I had a feeling I thought he was going to go back in.
I had a nightmare he was. I was so worried he was going to go back in.
He was so good.
I can't deal with him.
Me either.
I'm not trying to be rude.
Right.
But no. I was like, please don't win because he won the first competition. I was like, don't go back. Don't go back.
I know.
But to be honest, I didn't really want anyone to go back. Everybody who's been eliminated, I've been like, okay.
Yeah, I guess, same here. I mean, I'm more watching the strategy of who they're trying to get out and see if that's more so than who actually leaves at this point. I mean, they'll get tougher later. Yeah. Actually, they'll get more exciting. But I agree. All the ones that are fighting to get back in, I was kind of like, well, if none of them come in, doesn't matter. If one comes, I just want Jose to come in. I kind of wanted Glenn, but Glenn disappointed me. Glenn, like, you're my age group, and you couldn't pull it together.
Well, that's the thing. I know we talked about what would have happened if Glenn hadn't gotten out first week. Yeah. I think he would have gotten out the second week. And listen,
I agree, too.
I get it. I get the whole ageism thing on Big Brother. Yeah. I do. However, Big Brother is such a physical game, especially this season. There are so many physical challenges that pairing a 50-year-old against a 25-year-old, it's just not going to work.
Yeah.
Now, I understand. I'm sure the comment section is going to be full of, well, what about Jerry? He got third place.
And they mentioned him recently. He's 83 years old. He's doing okay. I saw on Twitter. Someone posted. Dan Giesling said he's doing okay.
But I think that was, first of all, an anomaly. And second of all, like, there should be old people represented on television.
I think so, yeah.
I don't know that Big Brother is a show for it because Big Brother is so much physical work. I mean, how long could Jerry have held his hand above his head in that HOH competition we had the other day?
Well, that's true. But I think also, I'm as the person who's older on this panel, I feel like
ageist.
I'm just saying. I feel like being in your late 40s, early 50s isn't that old. I always make jokes that I'm old, but I know it's not really that old.
No.
Luckily, it's middle age if you live to 80 or 90. I think you can still physically compete. I did 3 marathons in my 40s. You could do it.
Totally.
But I just feel like then maybe it should be more mental challenges too. There should be maybe a mixture. I love the puzzles and the mixture and memory competitions. I love those. So maybe there's a way to do it where there's physical and mental.
And bring in somebody who is physically fit.
Yes, you can.
At 50.
Totally.
I'm not sure Glenn's the person for
I don't think he was the person either. But I'm down. I will agree with you, Jonny.
Send in the hate tweets. I can feel them coming. But anyway, yeah. So that first competition.
Oh, someone's going. What about the guy on Survivor? He was 72.
I don't know. I don't watch.
He didn't watch Survivor. It's another CBS show, but I know what you're talking about. Who lasted almost towards the end. So I mean, it was somebody.
I'm not saying that older people can't do well. I'm just saying that it's less likely that they're going to beat the younger, more agile people in physical competitions. Yeah. And Big Brother has a lot of physical competitions. And this year they were running through those toenail gunk stuff,
and the logs, the logs you can't fall off the log.
A rocket ship. Yes. They're holding their arm up in the air.
The arm one, that one I was impressed with people because that's
6+ hours.
6 hours of doing this.
How did the blood? I was wondering like how their arms didn't.
It should go numb after a while. I would
Well,
think.
and also if you lose that much blood, how can you?
I guess for $500,000, you fucking screw the blood.
Yeah, I bet that was a really, really hard competition.
Oh, I'm sure. Because some of them did have patches on their shoulders afterwards I saw.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I was thinking, you're thinking, well, the blood's going to drain all the way out at some point. You know, like a withered hand. I don't know. I don't know how that worked out. Hopefully that wasn't, that was really true.
Can we also talk about Glenn using the poison berry on Jose at the perfectly wrong time?
I know.
I was like, dude, what is wrong with you? Just wait till he gets to the 20 point.
Yes, exactly. And so then Jose decides to use it against him. Of course, was smart.
So I just don't think Glenn, like, as much as I wanted someone older to be in the house this season, and truly I did. Like, I get that. I'm on board with that. I don't think he was the player.
He wasn't. Oh, well, clearly he wasn't the player. Clearly. Because he had a chance to get back in, but he didn't work out.
And he lost a bunch of competitions in his short time there.
I know. It's so bad. But Jose really was fighting hard to get back in. When it was him and Victor, I was getting really nervous because that was that whole bounce that thing and knock there. I mean, and even though I wasn't really, I don't care for Victor myself either, but I was rooting for him over. It was like the lesser of two evils.
I think Victor was the lesser of 5 evils. No, really. I mean, like, if Tiffany had gone back in that house, I would have been out. I don't think I could do another week of Big Brother. Sorry, guys, but no. Honestly, I was like, I can't deal with her. She just left. I'm so happy. Yeah. And I really thought that she was not going to go after last week's episode. They really did a fake out on us, didn't they?
They did. And I'm just saying, it's really interesting. They got the people out there. They're getting out. I mean, we're talking about Frank, and Frank's gone too. But basically, Victor got back in. So he's back in, and then people were totally shocked, of course. Then he announced that same night about the secret room that plays for 4 weeks, and there's clues. So those are two things that are the game changers, of course. I don't mind people come back in. I guess it doesn't bother me. People get upset. It doesn't bother me. I don't know how you feel about it. I mean,
yeah, I think that Victor is actually in a good position now. It's funny because I think we know Big Brother well enough at this point that we know there's a great possibility that someone's going to come back in. And this season, there might be 2 people returning. I know. So obviously, it's part of Big Brother now. So I don't know that we can say it's not fair at this point.
I agree with you. I'd say, but people have been totally getting upset about it. This house is so stupid, and they're a bunch of sheep. We knew Glenn wasn't making it. I know, poor thing. Everybody say poor Glenn. Poor Glenn. Glenn got washed. Yeah, I mean, he kind of did.
Now let me clarify one thing though. I actually wish there were more mental competitions on this show.
Me too. Oh, I know you too. I love them.
All these HOH endurance competitions they're doing now. It's great, but do you remember when the HOH there was like 1 or 2 endurance competitions every summer, and the rest of the HOH competitions were mental,
like puzzles.
We rarely do
memory.
Now.
The memory ones too are kind of. They did what, one memory one?
They did that true or false.
Yeah,
weeks ago.
I mean the memory thing is crazy too because I'm like, how do you remember that? Like it's kind of to me that evens the playing field on some level too.
Totally, because you have a better chance if you're not a physical player of getting power, and that's so important, especially when vetoes are almost always physical.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree with you on that one. So Victor's in. They killed the roadkill, so that's done.
I didn't mind that.
And the teams are done. We got our wishes.
Teams was done.
I'm so glad it's over.
Yeah.
This whole thing of like, are you trying to prolong the episodes so you have more people? I mean, I don't know what the teams, what was that for TV, obviously, right?
I think at the beginning of the season, every year, they try to throw in twists because they're not sure if the contestants are going to be interesting enough. And every year, they're interesting enough.
Right.
Get ready for a takeover.
I know. Oh, we hated that last year. Oh, my God. I think you're right. I think you're actually right about that. It's like they're just not sure because I guess you don't really know what's going to happen. You get like people together, it could be duds.
Yeah.
That one season of Real World in London years ago, it was known to be the most boring season of ever.
I didn't see it.
It was boring. The most exciting thing is one guy got his tongue bit off, and that was it.
I'm sorry. Huh?
He was performing on stage, and a guy came and bit his tongue off.
Now, okay, I need some details on this one. First of all, how do you bite someone's tongue off?
Tell me, I saw that.
The whole thing, or just like the tip?
It was like the tip. It was like
the tip I get. Okay, just the tip.
Just the tip. Big Brother After Dark. So that was supposed to, but it's widely known as the boring season of all the real. So they went back to like Las Vegas afterwards and had the hot tub. So
well, I don't think this season of Big Brother is the equivalent of the London season of Real World.
No. I'm just saying that, but
and I don't think they're all sheep.
No, I don't think so either. And I said my point was that I guess I'm going with you saying that they probably were trying to stir stuff up to see just in case they're not.
You know who are sheep? Big Brother 15 with all those unanimous votes.
Oh, I know. doing what the house they want. I hate how they do the veto. They don't like the veto competition, you guys. They're all glad the roadkill's gone. They all hate it. They didn't care for it. They're glad it's gone. I agree with you guys.
Big Brother fans are Big Brother purists, I swear.
I think so too. I kind of am too on a little bit of. I have to say.
Think I am too.
I think when I start thinking about it, going, yeah, I kind of wish this. I kind of miss you want to see my HOH room. I miss some of that stuff they don't show this.
You know what Danielle Donato tweeted?
Oh, what did she tweet?
When did they stop interviewing the HOH alone in the HOH room?
Oh my God, that's right.
It was like probably season 8, 9,
Oh my
10.
God, I forgot about that. They used to do that all the time.
It was so fun because it was the only like private time Julie had with the HOH.
They don't do that
And now
anymore.
Julie's more fun than she was in those seasons.
Yes, she is.
So I think that would be great to have them up there in the HOH room.
That is, I forgot about that. They used to do that all the time. Okay, I'm going to talk to you alone. Right before before the vote.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they would always talk to them. Mm-hmm. That's so funny. I miss that too.
I know. It's like one of those things that just went away. And where did it go?
Where'd it go?
So anyway,
Yes.
So we had that crazy battle back. That was fun.
Yeah, so that was a fun episode. I mean, I'm glad it kind of did it all at once. Everybody was like, "Say, dude," I'm glad it did devoted an episode. Give an extra day of Big Brother.
Yeah.
And it was kind of fun to see everybody kind of
take
do their
one.
thing. I'll take one. It's fine.
Big Brother's such a huge time commitment.
It is. We do it every year now. See, we do it anyway before we were doing the show, and now we're doing it.
Well, and then if you do Jokers and live feeds.
I know. And I try to read all the Twitter stuff. I do. I follow all the Big Brother stuff on Twitter. Mm-hmm. Like, so I know who the HOH is, of course, and all that from reading on Twitter. So,
Of course.
yes, I mean,
I can't wait. When I see them start a competition, I'm like, well, I got to figure out who it is.
Right. Me too. Same here. Me too.
Some weeks I'm like, no, I'm going to really try not to look,
really?
but I always look.
I always look. I may wait a day or so. We do this on Friday. I may do it on Saturday or Sunday.
Yeah.
Look at it. So I kind of know what's going on ahead of time. So, because I know some of you guys out there are really upset that they're not showing the HOH competitions all the way through all the time now. People have been mentioning that a lot.
I was saying
on
to
here.
James before we started the show, I have to believe it has to do with ratings.
Yeah.
Like, I think to have that cliffhanger at the end of Thursday's episode of who will it be, more people will tune in Sunday.
I agree.
I mean, I don't know if that's true, but that would be
I don't
my
either, but
guess.
it makes sense to me. So I don't know. So now what happened on Sunday was really interesting because before we all know Frank left. He's the one who got out. So I was very surprised he actually went out. But what led up to this stuff started coming out, and Nicole was becoming like this big pariah, so to speak, when she went to Frank,
Right?
told him what Day said.
Yeah.
But then she played it off. When it all came out, she was like,
I am shocked that she is able to get out of things like that.
Yes.
Like, she has been a little bit of a snake this season, which,
Yeah.
first of all, I like.
Yeah, me
it's
too.
part of Big Brother.
Me too.
But she has not gotten in trouble in the way that I thought she would.
Yeah.
And, like, of course, they don't show everything on the CBS show. Like,
They don't.
more happens.
They don't, yeah.
But she is in a relatively good position.
Yeah, she's good right now for what she shouldn't be in a good position because it all kind of came out and Day was mad and Frank's like not really. People aren't really trusting her right now. But
Sorry,
she's
that was Lauren LaGrasso singing.
Oh, Lauren LaGrasso was singing. We love that.
Because she can't be here.
Aww.
Anyway, sorry, what were you saying? I'm sorry.
I mean, he's on here. Jay said you tweeted me something I didn't reply. I'm sorry. I get so many tweets sometimes I can't get to all of them.
He's a celeb.
I can't get to all of them. I try to get to all of them.
Brittany just tweeted us. Wasn't there supposed to be a special guest for today's
There
Big
is.
Brother After
It's
Show?
going to be coming on
Oh,
shortly.
Brittany, honey bun,
I know.
it is coming.
It's coming, and it's somebody that you actually talked to. She's all over. My daughter's here off camera, and she's like laughing right now.
James Lott Jr. has a daughter, a grown-ass woman.
She is. She's a grown woman.
First of all, congrats on both of your successes. I knew about this because we went to Chili's one night,
Yes,
and he
all
told us
stars.
all about it. Which, by the way, do you know at Chili's now you order off an iPad at the
Yeah, it's
table?
really weird.
I'm sorry.
We had to figure it.
I need that
out.
human connection.
We had to figure it out.
And second of all, she's like an adult. And James, you don't look a day over 30.
Thank you. You know, I'm sweating here like a whore in church. I'm like, Jesus Christ, I'm dying in here. I'm having hot flashes. But yes. But anyway, so yes.
Brittany, it's coming.
So Brittany is coming. But we're talking about Sunday at the moment until he comes on.
Sorry.
Okay. So
He? So we know it's a
I said he. I said he. Oh my God. What's a he? There's 17 seasons before us. I mean, there's many he's that were on. It's crazy. You turn on as Lauren LaGrasso. I'm just kidding.
That'd be funny.
It'd be funny. But Paul is smart because remember Paul kind of had to work behind the scenes against Victor. He didn't really know, so he was like, "Victor, I got your back."
Yeah.
He told everybody, "Paul, you guys out there, I'm seeing people are turning
I
around."
know.
I have said him from the beginning.
I
I
know.
said if he calms down, he will be smart. I think he knows the game.
He does. It's weird because he could have easily been the first one out.
Easily.
I remember week 1 being like, you're playing too hard. If I was in the house, I'd try to get you out. He is still... Sometimes he's bad. Sometimes he speaks too loudly. Sometimes he says too much.
Yeah.
But he knows his way around that house and around the house guests. Like, I'm really... Every week I like him more and more. And I did not think I was going to like him.
I know you did. You guys were... I was like, no, he is going to be... If he's... As I said, if he calms down... I think he... Because to me...
And he did calm down.
He did. And see, the thing is, we're season 18. People should have watched the show on some level. And you know when you play too hard... Bye-bye. Usually, it's usually the case. I can't think of a case that didn't, unless you know of a case that didn't happen. I can't think of a case that didn't happen.
No, I mean, I don't know if you remember Brian from season 10. He got out for the first week, and it was because he was playing too hard.
Yeah.
He threatened the HOH.
That's okay. Yes.
And I just feel like Paul was sort of like this season's Brian, and I really did think he was going to get out early. And now in my mind, he's so under the radar.
Well, you know, he found the secret room.
I know.
He's the one who figured it out.
And we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
I have some thoughts on that.
They figured that out. So the HOH comp was this electric BD festival thing that happened that day. And that's when the whole thing came out. Because that one was really, that whole like holding on like this and first moving your legs back and forth. Was it end up being over 6 hours?
Yeah, it's crazy.
It was down to James, Bridget, and Day. It was great drama. I loved it. I was like, this is what I live for. Yeah. And the whole negotiating thing, and Frank trying to work a deal. And she's like, Bridget, I don't trust you. Bridget's like, I don't trust you. I loved it.
And Frank said to Day the thing about Nicole.
And Nicole's just like, oh my gosh.
I'm shocked that Nicole is not in more trouble.
I know. She played it off.
I mean, Frank went home.
I know. And Day said, I don't trust her fully, but she kept her in. Mm-hmm. I guess you can get her. I mean, I guess maybe she feels like not as threatened by her, maybe.
You know what I love about this season? I'm on so many different sides.
Yes, me too.
Like, I love Day for certain reasons. I love Nicole for certain reasons. I liked Frank.
Yeah, me too.
And yet they're all, butting heads.
The veterans.
I think that's a good... Well, and not just the vets, but I like Paulie for certain reasons. Yeah. I like Paul for other reasons.
How do you feel about Corey? Is he really doing anything? He's not really doing anything.
No. I think he is like one of those numbers.
Yeah.
And he's like he might become Nicole's shield.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Who knows?
Yeah, right.
Like Nicole might go before him, or he might go before Nicole.
Right.
But she's lucky to have him because there's a 50% chance that once he's out, there's a 50% chance that he'll leave before her. And once he's out, she won't be as big of a target.
Yes, I agree with you on that one. And then you got, basically it was down, they really worked it out. They did agree to not put up, was it James agreed not to put up Bridget or Day, of course. Mm-hmm.
And then went right back on that.
He sure did, which I understand. He said why he did. I kind of understand. I'm like, it does happen. Will it bite him in the ass that much, though, or no?
Look, if you cheat on your partner with somebody, and that person you go to, okay, if you're a cheater, you can't be mad if somebody cheats on you, is what I'm saying.
Got it. Okay.
So, same rules apply for Big Brother. You can go back on your word, but then for the rest of the game, you can't get mad if somebody goes back on their word.
That's true.
Whereas like Day, I think, plays a much more loyal game.
She does. I think James probably gets it though. I think he gets it though. But they can come after him at some point. I think he gets it, right?
I just don't know why. I mean, I don't know if he knew he was going to put up Bridget.
Well, he said he wanted to go against the house. They wanted Frank and Bridget up. That's what they wanted.
So then why didn't he just keep his arm up a little bit longer till Bridget dropped off? I feel like it puts a target on his back that he didn't need.
I agree.
Unless he was about to fall off.
All I know is I couldn't do it for 6 hours. I was like, oh my God.
Maybe he was giving up, but he said like, hey, I could be up here for a little bit longer.
He did say that.
So why did he make that deal? He knew he was going to go
back.
All
three of them looked like they were comfortable up there. They were not. I loved it. I was like, this is the Big Brother I love. Because all three of them were like, no bitches.
I was proud of Day.
I was very proud of her.
Day needs to start winning more because she's going to be out soon.
Oh, I agree. I totally agree. She needs to win more. So I was very proud of her that she stayed up there. So James became the head of household. He nominated Bridget and Frank to follow the group. Bridget, of course, was pissed because she's friends with Natalie, which she's with James. Natalie's smart. She's kind of like, well, I'm trying to hook up with whoever I need to hook up. She's like, I'm with James. I'm with you. Her hands are clean because she didn't do anything.
Yeah.
You know, I don't have any feeling for her that much, but I'm just like, oh, she's fine.
If she can step it up a little bit, she could go very far.
I agree. So she worked it out. She's like, okay, I'm gonna hang in there and hang out with them. They agree. We're a little scared for James now too. Good riddance. Everybody's rest in peace, Frank. Good riddance, Frank. They didn't plan on Corey being 6'5".
Now we have 2 villains gone. Is the season gonna be less interesting with Tiffany and Frank gone?
Okay, so the villains. Okay, can we substitute? Is it let's see. How about Day being a villain? Guess is she a villain? Kind of. No, I guess kind of.
She'll take the role, I think.
Take the role.
I think Day's next.
I think she's next year. She better hold on. You said she got to win some competitions or whatever. I'm confused by Corey. What is Big Brother editing doing? I don't know. What are they doing? Day has a huge target on her now. I think Day is going to go. I don't think Day is going to gun for James and Natalie. I don't think she's going to. Her and James are fine. They haven't done anything. They're only two. I think the only two vets are still kind of like fine.
The big problem is everybody is paired off this season with the exception of a couple people.
Yeah.
And that's a big problem because those who don't have a buddy like Day are screwed.
I know.
I mean, really, we are pairing off. Like we had James and Bridget, and now that, we had Frank and Bridget. Now that Frank is gone, Bridget is gonna be a pawn for a couple weeks.
Yeah.
We have Nicole and Corey. We have Zakiya and Pauly. Yeah. We have James and Natalie. Like,
wow, you're right. You got a lot of people paired off.
What would be smart is if Day found somebody and said, hey, I know we haven't gotten along all season or whatever, or we haven't been super close. If she went up to, I don't know, Paul and said that.
Oh, yeah, Paul.
Because she's desperate. She needs to make that connection. Yeah. And Julie even said last night, like, duos is the way to be in Big Brother.
That is actually very true. I almost wished her and Frank had really stayed and worked it out. I was thinking these two kind of powerhouses could really work out the room, and they didn't do it. Some of the veterans stayed together. They didn't stay.
I'm so into secret alliances. I'm so into secret alliances, secret duos, where they pretend to fight in public, but privately they meet up and they work out a scheme.
So the power veto was won on Wednesday by Michelle. Mm-hmm. And it's funny because Frank had lost his from the DJ OTEV competition. He won it the last time he went out on this. It's kind of funny. It's like it was a deja vu.
I'm really surprised by what happened.
Yeah, me too. And she didn't use it. I was like, wow, there you go.
Oh, man.
Oh, here, see. Oh. Can you hear me?
Okay, we're just going to keep going.
Okay, so she didn't use the veto. So that's fine. She didn't use it. And,
But when Frank, confronted her in the safari room, she seemed for a minute like, oh, maybe
I'll go back. He's kind of cute. I thought he was kind of cute in the beginning. And she went off on Bridget.
And her little crying fit after she didn't use the veto proves that maybe she thought about it. Like, really did give it a second thought. I thought so, too.
She was like, well, I was close to him, then you came in and took it. I'm like, oh.
I get that, though. As a super fan of the game, if I was in the house, I would probably want to make good TV. I would probably want to say Frank, this guy who we know makes good TV.
Yeah, he made good TV. I mean, I was hoping the vets would stick it out together, the four of them, and really, really work it. Bridget is alone now because Natalie can't protect her.
Who's saying that?
That was Duleman said that.
Yeah, it's true that she's alone, but also I think now that she's alone, she doesn't have as big of a target on her back.
I think so too. I think now that's good. Alrighty. I am so excited. You guys wanted a special guest, and actually a fan approached us with this, and he contacted me, and I'm so happy that he's on here. He was on season 12. He was the self-appointed leader of the Brigade Alliance. And then they tried to get him out several times, didn't work. Then he was blindsided. He was one of my favorites, of course, Mr. Matt Hoffman.
Hello, how are you guys?
Good, how are you? So it's me and
welcome.
Johnny. Johnny's my co-host.
Good to...
Okay, hello. I thank you for outing the fan as wanting this so that when everyone in your chat room is like, who is this guy again?
Oh my God.
They can just blame the guy on Twitter.
No, not at all.
No,
We've talked about you before on this show.
Yeah.
Everybody is excited for you to be here.
Yeah, they're happy you're here. Trust and believe they're happy you're here. So how's it going?
It's going well.
You're in Chicago.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, thank you. So now Johnny and I have watched Big Brother from the very beginning, from season 1 all the way through. So we know we know your season. We know your season, of course. So are you watching any of this new season?
Yeah, I am. As every year, I reluctantly trudge through it and wonder why I'm doing this to myself every year. But I do it, and I keep coming back. It's a sick addiction.
It is, right? It's sort of an emotional roller coaster. The other day, I was thinking, like, wow, in 4 years, we have to put up with a whole nother presidential election, and that's kind of how I feel about Big Brother.
Yeah,
I'm like, well, next year I have to... Right. But you're right. That's a good way of putting it. A sick addiction.
Because it's a commitment, isn't it? It's like when you're watching it, you have to watch 3 episodes on CBS, Big Brother After Dark. If you have the feeds, the Twitter, it's crazy.
No, there's no casual viewership. It's either, you don't know why people are paying attention to this, what is this, or you have 20 cats and you subscribe to the live feeds, and it's all or nothing.
Do you have 20 cats there?
I have 2.
Oh, 2. You're on
my way up.
You're on your way.
So when you were on, how was the social media for you when you were on your season?
The social media?
Yeah, like when you were seeing all the feeds, when you were on the show, and you got off and you found out all this stuff. I mean, sure, you found out all kinds of stuff when you came off.
Yeah. Social media was not like as huge a thing. I don't think we were the first season to really get a Twitter presence, I would say.
Right.
Following us and stuff, like getting substantial followers. Before that, I remember one of the first things I asked my wife was, what did I miss? Like, what's in pop culture?
Right.
That went away. And the first thing she could come up with was this Antoine Dodson guy, hide your kids, hide your wife. And so she shows it to me. I'm like, all right, show me what's going on. She's like, this is the biggest thing. It's the biggest thing. And I'm like, I don't get it. So you really have to be part of it because, you come out of the house and things that were the biggest deal, you don't get because you weren't in the mix.
I'm sure you're so sick of this question, but I'm sorry, we'll get clobbered on Twitter if we don't ask. Let's say All Stars 2 came around. Would you be willing to re-enter the house?
Yeah, I hear that so often because people are just clamoring to get me back on. You'd be surprised.
We're not surprised.
Of course I would go back. I mean, it's, I could be working or I could be sitting by a pool doing nothing. So I definitely would opt for that. Because I am actually one of the few genuinely employed Big Brother alumni, I think. So I have to, mortgages and bills and things like that.
You're not a cocktail
I'd
server?
be hanging out by a pool, of course.
You're not a cocktail server or a waitress? You're not that?
No, I'm not an aspiring
Nothing against.
No, of course not.
I have a question just about your time in the Big Brother house. First of all, like you said, you're one of the few people with an actual job, and and it seems like you have some level of intelligence that maybe not everybody who plays Big Brother has. Did you?
Let me clarify. I'm sorry because I'm starting to think that this may sound very dickish. I'm not saying that in a condescending like it makes me better. I'm just saying as a very point of fact. I don't want to be.
And I'm saying it.
I don't care. I'm going to work every day.
It's understandable.
We're saying to be dickish.
So what do you do in the Big Brother house? Were you working out? Were you swimming in the pool? It seems like to me you're a kind of guy who would want to crack open a book every now and then. Did you go crazy?
Yeah, surprise for the fans, I'm not the most physically fit guy. I take great care of my body. So even in casting, I remember saying that one of the things I was looking forward to was knowing that they always cast these big hard bodies and wanting to befriend these guys so they can get me in shape. Yeah. And I did do that, I was in the best shape of my life that I've ever been in. And now I'm back to shitty middle age. I don't look great.
Well, you were fit when it mattered.
It was a good run for a little bit. I did a lot of working out.
That's good. While you're on TV and you have to be shirtless.
Yes, exactly.
For certain competitions.
Yeah, you do. People didn't probably want to see that out of me. I don't think.
So do you still get hate for faking an illness or faking your wife's illness?
Yeah, well, you'd be surprised on this thing called the internet. People aren't real friendly just in general. So I get a lot of hate, but I don't know that it's rooted in real hate as much as it is just people that love to be rude on the internet. So I take it with the grainest
The internet is so mean. I can't imagine being on Big Brother and coming out of that house and seeing what people are saying.
It's a funny place, the internet is. I love it, honestly. Here's why I like the haters more than the fans.
Sure.
Because the fans are just really nice. And it's pleasant to be around and everything, but you don't really gain anything from that except maybe an ego boost.
Sure.
Whereas the haters, they're at least, if nothing else, they're honest because they're blind. You never see them. It's just typing. So they are, if I see someone go, oh, he sucks and he has hairy ears, I go, do I? And I really have hairy ears. And I learned this about myself because none of your friends would ever tell you that. You have to hear it from people who genuinely just don't like you and you hear everything about yourself. So I enjoy it.
So now there's 4 vets. Well, not anymore. There's 3 vets in the house. But just watching the 4 vets, what do you think about them? About Nicole, Frank, Day, and James? How they're playing?
I did like Frank. I like the competition, the count people, the heavy hitters. I like people that go for it, and don't sit around. Nicole, I'm certainly puzzled by as a returnee. Not that I don't like her at all. I found her pleasant even on her season, but it's just weird if of all the people you're playing come back, that's an odd pick. Devon too, a first boot. I feel like Devon is the new Brian Hart, who you kind of referenced earlier.
Yes.
the first person booted that CBS just clings to and needs to like not get rid of. She's on Price is Right and this. It's like, what's the deal? She got booted out first. She knows nothing of the game.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what's happening there. And who's the other one?
James.
Oh, James.
James.
I
James.
do like James.
James.
I get that one. You're fan favorite, you know. I'm glad that they didn't, you know, do the whole like say that they were coaching or that they're, you know, above the newbies in any way, because I don't feel these are like power players beyond Frank.
Right.
It's just like people that people like.
Right.
So I agree. I agree. The good point he's bringing up that they're basically these vets are kind of like everybody else. They've just been on the show before.
So who is your favorite player this season? Who do you think's playing the best game?
Okay. Who is playing the best game?
Oh man,
I'm not liking this season as much really as typical seasons, I feel, and so this is why I'm saying it's hard. I guess I like Devon. I feel like there's elements. You were saying it too. There's elements of people you like, but then you can just find they're very reprehensible elements of these same people. So it's tough to just find someone that like one person I'm attaching to. Sure. James is a fun guy, and I wish he wasn't in Showmance. I wish they were in all these Showmances.
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
I think he's kind of an underdog, unlikely ass kicker, and I like that in a player, someone who is unassuming but goes for it. But this chick's gonna drag him down, as chicks tend to do with guys. So
isn't that funny? I agree with you on that, because I'm like the beginning of the season, the girls like we're not gonna be in a show, we're gonna be ourselves, we're not gonna, and then suddenly they're all paired up. Jonny just mentioned how everybody's paired up.
It's true, but okay, like remember season 6 when everybody was truly paired up? They had a secret partner. Not so secret, but a partner. What would happen is, it would suck if you were if you and your partner were still in the game, you were a huge target. But once your partner was out, you were like good for a couple weeks.
You're good.
And I'm wondering if that's going to happen this season. Like once one half of your partner of your duo goes
like
out,
Bridget
you're
now,
going to be good.
is she
exactly.
Frank's gone, so now Bridget, is she good?
Yeah, she's good. I think she's good. I think you just kind of move on. The problem with this cast, you said who's your favorite. I go, I don't know, but I would have just the same reaction to who's your least favorite. Like no one is extreme in any way, and that's bad for TV. Everyone's just kind of there.
You're so right. It is. I mean, I've been saying this every week. It feels a little kumbaya this year. Like everyone's sort of one big family.
The one person that maybe that deviates from that is the kind of the TV person is Paul. But he's just tries so hard and is just so caricature over the top that it's not even like a natural funny person.
Well, he's like 23 years old. He's a child. I look at his age too. Going, he's young. Of course, leader of a rock band.
It's crazy that he's 23.
But I say so young. But I love his beard. I have beard envy. Number one. But number two, I've been rooting for Paul from the beginning. I thought he played so hard in the beginning. He needed to calm down. He's calmed down.
He is. It's funny that he's acclimated to the house. I thought he would be like the first one out because he's just so irritating. And this last episode, he was kind of irritating again. So we'll see.
I think that's him.
He has no chill. Like when he was figuring out the puzzle, he was making such a big deal out of it. I'm like, dude, just like calm down.
Well, here's a question for you, because when you're in the house, are you really that amped up? Because you have money on the line, right? You really want. Are you just always? Can you help being amped up? I guess on the show while you're there.
Yeah, I had a problem even in my diary rooms with not getting particularly amped up. I'm pretty just kind of like things are cool, And I'm not that I'm not excited. I am, but it's hard for me to be like go crazy, So not my bag really, but I know that they do like to encourage that kind of behavior, and people do get amped up. I mean, it's a lot of money,
My question is and I felt like you were this type of player, a player who could keep his calm. Dan Giesling is this type of player. Like there would be a fight going on and he'd just be like sitting on the couch, like chilling out or reading the Bible. My question is, and a lot of people say, well, you don't know until you're there playing the game. You don't know how difficult it is to be a good player, to not get worked up, to not get emotional. But it seems like certain people, yourself included, manage to do that. And I just wonder what the difference between you and a Devon type is.
Yeah. Well, I probably have some emotional detachment issues that we should talk to a therapist about.
Very fair.
I think also you get a lot of so look, it's human nature to so a Big Brother alumni, typical one, not me, is going to want people who are not in the Big Brother house to think that things were just in the most extreme way, because they'll never know.
Right.
So, it's the world. Oh, it's so emotional. I mean, I guess it is. Whatever, The people just need to chill out. It's not. Right. It's a game. It's a fun game. I enjoyed it. I loved it. It's super fun as a fan. I would think if you were a recruit and you didn't totally know what you were getting yourself into, that shock might be like, oh my god. Yeah. But I was such a fan. Like there was nothing they said expect the unexpected, but it was not like unexpected. I knew. I don't know. I don't know. I'm a horrible person to ask this question.
No,
Let's stop talking about feelings.
No, you
I'm not
answered.
talking about that.
You did fine. No, you did fine. You did fine. What were you gonna say?
No, I understand that. I mean, I get that, different personality types play the game, and that's the point. And you are, like, you did, actually, I do think you had a strong personality type because you were that, like, maniacal leader.
I agree.
And I don't know, I mean, I don't know, it's you, so maybe you don't see it, but you seem like this smart, level-headed leader. And that was
a funny post-show conversation that went on, and I would imagine goes on with every season, certainly with ours, is when people get done and watch, and then the commentary amongst the cast intermix with themselves, which people were like closest to their edit versus furthest, because obviously us in there know the reality of everything that went on. And Reagan and Brittany still attest to the fact that I had one of the most deviated edits, and I get where they're coming from. Because I mean, certainly there is an element of my character, absolutely, that is just an arrogant dick, and it's horrible. But the problem is that I am hugely tongue-in-cheek with like 90% of what I say, so they cut all of the tongue-in-cheekish parts out of the diary and kept all just the dickish parts. So my dry wit and sarcasm just came across as just unhealthy a-hole. And I am, and I'm not defending myself, but probably not as poorly and in such a douchey way as maybe.
So when you saw yourself afterwards, what did you think when you saw yourself? I mean, you're like,
I laughed. I mean, it's a TV show. They need a character. If they, they did what they did, and it's great. I think it's, I take all of this very lightheartedly. There, I'm sure people that hold this a lot more to their hearts and take things seriously. I think it is. You know what you're getting yourself into. I'm a huge fan of the show. Yeah. So it was just a cool experience.
God, it's so. So we always say, could we do it? We're always saying, could we actually do it for 3 months? Like commit to 3 months?
It just seems insane.
It seems like because like for you, so you can't listen to music, you can't read things, you can't. I mean, like you can't watch TV. I mean, like things that I can choose not to do is okay. It's taken away from you.
I'm going to describe it. You're going to understand this. Because you were saying you had a kid, right?
Yeah.
I heard you guys talking.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Anyone with kids is going to understand what I think is this analogy. So it's like, now that you're done and you've had your kid, going back, remember when you first had your kid and you're like up all night and your wife's on the titty with the baby and it's just like insane, and you think right now, you go, how did I ever? It's just impossible. Totally. It's so crazy. But at the time it was happening, it's just like life, it wasn't crazy at the time. Right. It's crazy in hindsight. And so that's what it's like. Like even now I go, how did I do that? I couldn't do that now. I can never do that again. But you do it because it's just happening. I don't know. It's the best way I can describe it.
No, actually it's perfect, because someone asked me once, how could I raise kids at 19, 20 years old while I was still going to school, and her mom was going to school, and we had people, like, you just do it. You literally just do it. You just do it. Yeah. It is so funny.
Again, you could go now and go, oh, I could never do that. Yes. It's like, but I did.
Well, you did.
That's interesting. And I think that's relatable. I think you can see that, like, any time in my life where I've been stressed or something's been going on or whatever, like, you just push through.
You just push through. But it just seems so extreme to us who are just watching and going, wow, you literally are together all the time. So do you really forget the cameras are there? Or are you always aware?
This is so funny. I mean, sort of maybe related to this question. Just this last episode, 2 episodes ago, I was watching with my wife on the couch. And you ever have those moments where like you think a thought, and as soon as you think it before it even comes out, you just cut it off because you know it's so stupid?
Yes.
And I had to come clean with that. I told my wife, I'm watching them do a comp. And the thought that came in my head was, God, it'd be so cool to be able to do one of these comps. Immediately with like, oh, wait, I did a ton of, like, I was there.
Right.
So it's just like, I forgot. I just lost that I had even done this stuff. Right. And you're watching it just like, so cool. Wow, that would be so cool to do.
Wow, that's cool. So funny. Yeah.
What do you think about the competitions this season? They're very physical this season, aren't they?
They are very physical, yes.
Yeah, they're a lot.
It's cool. I kind of favored Frank and stuff. I felt bad for Glenn that he had to go over like a balance competition with a dancer. That's like
exactly. Hello, she can prance her way across. Of course, I mean, hello.
That was a little off, I thought. But it's heavy hitting. A lot of different. You guys are talking about the endurance competitions. This is probably as close to an old school, and I mean like preseason 6 old school endurance, because they used to be. I mean, the word endurance. It was just very boring and plain, but just stood.
Right.
I love
now
those,
it's very, you have to do stuff too. And even this one, this was close because they were just standing, but there was the foot thing. Like an old school season 5 would have done this without a foot thing.
Right. They held the button.
So yeah, it's different. It's probably a tougher game.
But you know what? The conversation they had at the end of this endurance competition between Day, Bridget, and James reminded me of
the old
season
days.
6 in the pressure cooker competition where they held the button and
that's right.
Kesar had just
Yeah.
returned and Jennifer fucked him over.
yes.
She's like, I promise I won't. I swear on my life I won't put you
I was
up.
a Kesar fan too, so I was
I love the true endurance
me too.
competitions.
I did too.
This is probably one of the longer lasting ones in recent years, I
Oh
gotta
my
imagine.
god! Yeah, 6 hours. I was like, ooh,
Yeah.
that's crazy. Now I'm looking. Are you full sleeve now on your arm?
I haven't gotten anything different since.
Okay, same
since
the
the
same.
show.
Okay, I just saw a little flash. I remember that from your season. You had the
Yeah, the same thing.
They always say when you get one tattoo, you just can't stop. So that's
Yeah,
what they
it's
say.
just all it is a display of my ability to make poor decisions. It's just
It's
puts
not-
on public.
It's not. I don't mean to stereotype, but your personality and your tattoos, in my mind, don't seem like the same person.
right.
Yeah, this is a great casting story. So the very final interview you go to is like you have to walk up these staircase and you meet with like the CBS people or whatever. It's the very, very last one. And I got called and I was walking up. I was wearing a T-shirt and I was walking up to do it. And the casting director stopped me at the base of the staircase and gave me a zip-up hoodie and said, "Put this on." I said, "How come?" And she goes, "We want you to focus on. We want them to focus on what you're saying, not what you look like."
Wow.
So there's an element in casting, where, like you said, if I didn't have tattoos, you probably wouldn't think that I had tattoos.
Right. Right.
Interesting. That's so interesting. Well, Matt, thanks so much for coming on the show. I'm really honored that you chose to do this with us.
That was fun. You guys are fun.
Yeah, I think we're trying to have a good time. We're fans of the game. We love the game.
It sounds like it. Yeah, I even like the old real world conversation with Neil getting his tongue bit off. I love
Neil, that's his name, is Neil. So he knows. It was like, but people kept saying it was a boring season. I'm like, actually, I watched it. Jacinda Barrett actually is an actress now. She's done a lot of acting. She came out of that season.
That's true.
She came out of that season. So it's kind of just kind of a little side note.
And Matt, now that I know you like haters more than fans, I'm just gonna shit talk you from here on out on
Please,
Twitter.
be very honest.
Hope that's
please,
okay.
He's all please do.
Yeah, I'm just
That's
gonna.
how I improve myself. I shave my ears now.
I will. I'll figure out your next big flaw and really go at it on Twitter.
That makes me better and stronger.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Matt. We'll see you online. Maybe I'll have you back on the show again later in the season. See what's going
Love
on.
it. It was fun. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks
Take
a lot.
care.
Take care. Have a good one.
Bye bye.
So you guys, we have Matt Hoffman from season 12. That was your surprise, and I want to thank our one of our fans actually tweeted at him, and he got in touch with me.
That piece of shit.
He's terrible. He's horrible. All those tattoos.
No, Matt, thank you so much.
Yes, we totally appreciate that. That was nice. We're gonna get others on the show too and have their opinions.
Matt was the voice of reason in many ways on his season. Of course, I liked Brittany and her tongue-in-cheek stuff and her snarky
Actually,
comments.
I didn't mind Reagan so much. You know, we're talking about gay characters on some of these seasons. I didn't mind Reagan so much.
The only thing real about you are the pimples on your chin line. I wrote a college essay about that.
Did you really?
I did. So I took this stupid comm class, Comm 101, and they made us pick a moment in television and like write something about it.
Okay.
I forget the assignment.
Yeah.
Like it was a bullshit class.
Yeah.
But I was like, I'm gonna do the Reagan and Rachel Riley fight.
Oh, I know.
Why don't you get on your broomstick and fly away?
They fought. Oh my god. They totally fought.
And now they're friends.
My god. Now they're friends. The Big Brother universe, it's all incestuous anyway. It's all incestuous. And half of them show up on Bold and the Beautiful.
I know.
They get like a little CBS crossover. They're coming on Bold and the Beautiful. Like it's like, okay, I see. I'm like, oh, well, Rachel's been on several times, and Brandon and all
From
them.
one quality television show to another.
Hey, that's the soap opera. Let me start my soap
Hey,
operas.
I'm talking about Big Brother.
I know.
Okay, wait. We have so much more ground to
Yes.
cover.
We only have like 5
I
minutes.
know.
It's crazy talk.
Okay, let's pick highlights.
Okay. So they gave us a little update with Meg, Jason, Boogie, and Hayden.
Yeah.
That's kind of fun to see some of them. My
mean,
Boogie,
yeah.
I've always been a deference to, but
But I'm glad Mike said that Frank wasn't playing a good game. He made a great point.
Yes, he
Frank
did.
should not have said he won the roadkill. I
know.
He really put a target on his back.
we said the same thing.
Okay, when you're coming and playing the game a second time, you need to know that people are going to know what kind of player you are.
Yes.
So be like Dan Giesling, where you say, okay, I will do the best I can to make that side of me not stand out this
Yes,
season.
I agree.
And Frank didn't do that.
He didn't do that. God, it's like just, oh, you gotta be kidding me.
Jason, it was nice to see Jason. I
It was
love
nice to see
Jason.
Jason. I like Jason too. It was nice to see him. It was nice to see him. We hadn't seen him in a while. I did like him. He was fun.
Jason's like this sassy little gay guy who lives in his parents' basement and says everything I'm thinking.
And he
Sort of
didn't-
like Devon.
And he didn't
Devon.
bug me that much either. So there are a few gay guys in these seasons that didn't bug me as much. He didn't bug me as much.
Yeah, I like
We had
Jason.
fun with him on our show. We had fun, talking about him when we were doing our show last. And Meg was somebody I didn't care for very much, so I could have done without her.
I know you hate Meg.
I was not a fan of hers whatsoever.
Grandma, remember Grandma?
Oh my God. So people were saying they love season 9 because they were saying you like season 6 a lot. They were like, we like season 9 is the best season.
Ooh, till death do you part. Hated that. Didn't they have a bowl of condoms in the house?
Yes,
that season?
they did. They said Hayden looks different. He did look a little different. Well, people change. I mean,
I'm glad that he's not angry about the Corey thing.
Oh, me
unless
too.
he was masking his emotions. But
been,
he seemed like, I'm happy for her. Wait, did we talk about veto? Yes.
yeah, we
OTEV.
did.
Sorry.
Because we said no because Michelle didn't use it. She chose to leave it as is.
And then regretted it
regretted
immediately.
Regretted it. Because again, like you said, when we talked briefly, she was thinking maybe she should keep Frank.
Yeah.
But she went off on...
I get it, though.
I get it.
Because if Bridget was gone, she could weasel her way back. But I don't think Frank would have been loyal to Michelle.
Oh, no, not at all. But not at all.
So I'm glad she didn't do that.
Yeah, he wouldn't have at all.
Can we talk about the secret room?
Yes, talk about Paris.
Here's the deal.
Yes.
Paul should have calmed the fuck down. Because he knew he had it. He should, and I get it. Like, it was a race to get in there. And it could have been one of those things where, like, whoever went in first...
No.
Whatever.
Because we didn't know. They didn't know either what the...
But here's the problem I have with that kind of stuff.
Yes.
CBS pushed it too hard. Big Brother pushed it too hard. The clue should have been a little more subtle, and they should have given them more time to figure it out.
I agree.
Because then you could have had somebody wake up in the middle of the night and sneak up there and do it.
But
they wanted everyone to get in.
They did. They wanted everybody.
They might as well just said, "Hey, here's a room. Go in it." And I don't like that. I like when you have to figure out crack the code.
I agree, and it's funny you said because I was thinking the same thing. I'm thinking, God, they're totally going really fast. They're fast tracking this.
Yes.
They said 4 weeks. I mean, so I'm like, why are they rushing this? It'll be fine. You just do it, and then we found everybody had to know. Oh, it's Paris, and it just that whole media call. I'll tell you what happened, but not tell you what happened. I'm like, that was kind of weird too. Like, I won't really give you any clues. And they're like, it was weird.
And it would have been so cool if they had really just let it breathe.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. I don't know. Are we halfway yet? No, we're not halfway yet.
How many people are gone now? 5.
We have more. We go till September.
5, and then 1 came in, and then 1 went out.
Yeah. So I guess we're getting close to the halfway mark. I guess at this point, there's still a lot of people in the house.
Yeah.
There's like 11, 12 people.
To do some double eliminations. So.
Oh, I almost forgot about that. Double evictions are going to happen.
Yeah.
Where they fast track that one episode, everything happens. That's going to happen. You're right. That's going to happen because we end in September.
Yep.
I forgot about the double eviction stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. Oh, so I mentioned Crazy James and Sheila fight. That was epic. Remember Crazy James? He did like porn. Like,
he did.
He did. I saw one of the things online. It was online. Yeah. I was like, I'll see what's going on. Yes, Paul. Calm the F down. Corey got stuck in the crawl path and feeds went down. Well, he's 6'5". That thing was small. You see how small? I think I was gonna fit in there either.
That's scary.
Because Paul's tiny. He was just scurrying like a little squirrel going in there. But I think it's kind of small. Like Davon, they're all kind of tall and busty and stuff. I would get claustrophobic. I think to get in there. Then it's just like this big French room with like envelopes.
That was cool. I liked it.
That's kind of cool. So, were you nervous? We were talking this on here too. That Frank had the roundway ticket.
No, I'm not going to be nervous. You can't live like that.
Okay, guys, he said
it's a 1 out of 12 shot. It's not like I don't know. I wasn't nervous. In fact, I have a feeling it won't even come up because it's only 18 days till the tickets expire.
I wonder who has it. He's like,
I don't think it's even going to be an issue.
Yeah. That's it. I'll give you that one. It might not be. I'll give you points on that one. It might not be. And of course, they didn't finish out the HOH, but I know who it is.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. We looked.
So, you guys are talking about it in here right now. We know who it is too.
I will say this.
Okay, say it.
I'm not going to say who won HOH.
Right.
But my prediction for this week is Davon is in trouble.
I agree.
And I felt that way before I even knew who HOH was.
They're all kind of agreeing with you. They think it's very much they think Davon is.
And this will be a test. Davon's got to win. Like here's the thing: if you are not a Dr. Will or a Dan Giesling, you better be able to win a competition when you need to.
Be a Janelle. Janelle fought her way and won like 7 or 8 in a row.
Crazy.
Homegirl, that's my favorite name. That's my girl. But she was like, you want me out of this house? You're gonna have to really work, and she worked the F out of that.
CBS should give her $500,000.
Well, they're all talking about they all love. Everybody loves Janelle. Like Janelle was just like I thought she was beautiful. She was good, but she fought her. I mean, she fought. Yep. To me, that was very, 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 very smart of her. She was playing the game when she had to play it.
Yep.
Well, so yeah, this is kind of crazy. So, folks, that was the week that was. And Big Brother, we'd love to continue talking, but of course it's time to end the show. And so where can they find you on social media?
Well, as always, you can find me at Jonny Mangs on Twitter and Instagram. And if you're in the Los Angeles area, tonight is the last performance of my solo show at the Hollywood Fringe Festival. You can get tickets at thegayguidetotinseltown.com.
It's a great show.
Thanks,
I always said it before. I mean, just like seriously, it's really good. You need to go see it. So it's good history. You can follow me at James Lott Jr. on all social media platforms. My radio show on iHeartRadio, the SOS show with James Lott Jr. It's on there. All my episodes are on there. It's great. Thank you so much for watching us. And next we'll be back with Lauren Negrasso and Grant Rudder is returning to help us out and talk about Big Brother. He was on last season.
Grant's Rants.
Grant's Rants. He'll be back. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye, guys.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.